Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Oh, the Illblurmatic.
Welcome back to Illblurmatic, and today we are back with another review on the newest episode of What If the world lost its mightiest hero. So this episode starts off a little bit about in a different scenario. Pretty much, what if these Avengers did not happen at all? Meaning that something happens to the Avengers in this episode. The very first part of this episode was kind of hilarious. We see Black Widow and Nick Fury, literally those two coming together, going to meet Tony Stark. And the good thing about this is, I like What If, they're sticking to some of the original people that played the characters in the Avengers movies. So I really do like that aspect of this TV show. Samuel L. Jackson definitely returned to play Nick Fury. So I was really cool with that, you know what I'm saying, seeing that. I love the introduction when he meets Tony for the first time. He said, hey, look, I want you to join my, the Avengers. And he's like, I'm not trying to join no boy band. I said, oh my God. I said, Tony is hilarious. He called the Avengers a boy band. These are the mightiest heroes. Like, oh gosh, I thought it was absolutely funny. And we see pretty much that Nick Fury notices that something's wrong with him. It seems like him like doing everything for himself. Tony seems to like want to do the hero thing solo, dolo. He doesn't want to work with a group of people. Okay, and we see that pretty much Agent Romanoff, or also known as Black Widow, tells pretty much Nick Fury tells her, say, hey, look, I got something to stop his problem with him. Kind of looked like he's like the technology was almost consuming his body, literally. And he said, hey, give him the shot. And pretty much when he takes the shot, he pretty much dies. I was like, whoa. And the thing is, we see Black Widow like, hey, I didn't kill him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any intentions, despite her not really wanting to work with Tony Stark. She didn't have the motive to kill the man, okay? I was like, yo, and, pretty much Nick Fury tells us, say, hey, look, you're gonna definitely have to still pretty much be, escorted to SHIELD facility for doing something, even though it may not be you. You know what I'm saying? So this episode starts literally on a Monday, then a Tuesday. So it's a little different from the previous episodes. I really like that it's like a, different days of the week. I thought that was really cool. Also, we stumble across another Avenger, Hawkeye, and he's voiced by Jeremy Renner. I really like that Jeremy Renner came back for this role. I was hoping to. I was like, please, can we get Jeremy Renner that played Hawkeye in Avengers to voice his character? And pretty much there, eventually, we see Romanoff fight off before Hawkeye comes along. We see her fight off SHIELD people and she escapes. Like, come on, she's very tactical when it comes to fighting. So we knew Black Widow or Romanoff was going to get out of the grips of SHIELD. I mean, pretty much her boss knew too. He said, hey, you still got to go in, even though you didn't commit this crime. And pretty much we see them in New Mexico, where pretty much Agent Clausen, I'm glad Clausen returned for this, yo. This was really cool. I like that Agent Clausen was in this. Agent Clausen pretty much tell them that, hey, we got this strange hammer in New Mexico that's in the ground. And pretty much SHIELD people were getting took out left and right. Thor was taking them out, baby. Okay, Thor was like, sneaking up on them, taking them out and everything. And literally we see a situation where Hawkeye has the opportunity to kill Thor, okay? He pretty much is like, he's got his arrow ready and everything. But what happens is he doesn't kill Thor. Someone else frames him. I'm like, boy, every Avenger's getting framed in this episode, bro. I'm like, wait a minute. Black Widow got framed, but Tony's death. You know what I'm saying? Now we got, pretty much Hawkeye being framed for Thor's death. I'm just like, boy, oh boy, this is definitely getting interesting. So pretty much they arrest Hawkeye. Hawkeye stands down, and we see Hawkeye in the S.H.I.E.L.D. facility where they lock up criminals. And he's like, I never miss. He's like really, he's like in a paranoia state. Like, I didn't do it. I never miss. Like, I was just like, poor Hawkeye, man. You didn't even do it. And you feel guilty for, like, being accused of killing this Asgardian. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, it's terrible that he had to suffer through that. And he pretty much ends up dying, taking some type of like medicine. And I was just like, yo. And I felt bad for Black Widow, because Black Widow had a romantic interest, it seems like, in this episode for Hawkeye. We know in, the other universe, she treats him like a brother type of thing. So, brother-sister relationship. In this universe, seemed like she really had feelings for him, especially when Nick Fury called her and said, hey, look, I'm sorry to tell you the bad news. Pretty much, so-and-so died. Hawkeye died. And now we enter another Avenger that's going to end up pretty much dying. This was just like, terrible to see this, but it's really cool at the same time, because we're like, we get a different perspective on the Avengers if they would have became an entire entity of a team versus them getting taken out. So the next part of this episode is when we come across Betty Ross. Now she's Dr. Ross, and pretty much Agent Romanoff, also known as Black Widow, goes to pay a visit, and she finds out that pretty much the Hulk is alive. You know what I'm saying? Because pretty much she thought that the Hulk wasn't around or must have been dead. And, Betty's been hiding it, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because how she found out, she's like, oh, you do pizza deliveries, Dr. Ross? That's how Black Widow found out. And she said, hey, look, if you don't get out my way, it's going down. We already know Black Widow don't play, you know what I'm saying? Hand and physical combat stuff, that's her thing. You get what I'm saying? And literally we see, Dr. Ross open the actual door, and who's behind it? Pretty much Hulk in his other form as Bruce Banner, okay? And we see definitely the thing is with this situation, we see the problem is that Hulk is like, yo, look, he was trying to hide, and eventually who is to pretty much find out where Hulk's whereabouts is? Her daddy. Her daddy and Hulk are like arch nemesis, you know what I'm saying? So very, I guess you could say, nostalgic in a sense. We were like, okay, we knew this was coming, okay? And we see the father pretty much trying to shut down him when he becomes the Incredible Hulk. And I was like, uh-oh. And we see his guys taking on Hulk, but someone accidentally shoots Hulk in his actual part of his body. We thought Hulk was invincible. No, bro. He wasn't invincible in this episode. So Hulk goes down. He gets so big and he blows up. I was like, whoa. I said, they even took down Hulk, boy. Oh. So we see that. Also, we see in this episode where pretty much Loki appears. Loki appears in this episode. And it's very interesting how Loki appears. And Loki appears to pretty much S.H.I.E.L.D. and Nick Fury. Say, hey, look, I'm looking for the man that killed my brother Thor. And pretty much we see the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Asgardians go at it. But I love the sequence between Nick Fury and pretty much Loki. Like, it was so funny. Like, he kept getting interrupted. Like, Loki wanted to introduce himself so bad. I'm like, bruh, your phone call keep interrupting what he's trying to say and why he's here. He's like, oh, girl trouble. Loki's like literally funny in this episode. Like, when he said that, he's like, oh, you got girl trouble. That's probably what it is. but we see them go at it. You know what I'm saying? And literally pretty much Nick Fury reassuring, like, it will let you know when we find out who killed your brother. You know, Thor. So then the episode starts off with Agent Romanoff pretty much like finding like the missing puzzle pieces to who's like pretty much may have been killing all the Avengers and certain members of S.H.I.E.L.D. from what it seems like in the database. And literally with this, we see some pretty much person in the shadows fighting Agent Romanoff, also known as Black Widow. She gets her butt kicked by whoever it is. The thing is, she's smart about it. She records a voicemail to Nick Fury. And we see Nick Fury at a diner pretty much playing over the voicemail until he figured out who is the culprit behind it. And it is very interesting. So then he pretty much tells Colossus, I'm going to make a deal with the devil or a deal with God. Meaning either he's going to go visit Thor's brother Loki, or he's going to figure out who is behind the killing of the Avengers. Okay? The world's mightiest heroes. So we eventually see pretty much Samuel L. Jackson's character literally at a graveyard. And who is the culprit? It's Hank Pym. Yes, Hank Pym is very furious. He looks deranged, okay? Like, literally, when I saw his character, I'm like, oh my God, he looks stressed out. He looks, like, tired and everything. And we can see that he's like, it's your fault. My daughter and my wife is dead because they are part, they joined S.H.I.E.L.D. and they end up both getting killed working for S.H.I.E.L.D. And reason why Hank Pym killed the Avengers was because he's like, look, I'm out for revenge. You know what I'm saying? He like, look, you took the people that meant the world to me, and now I'm going to make you suffer because your heroes are dying. And I love how he explained, like, why he killed Thor. He's like, oh, Goldilocks? Oh, he just wanted to join the Avengers anyway. He was going to join anyway. But in the end game, I took him out too. I'm like, wow. And I love the graveyard fighting sequence where you see Hank Pym amazed at pretty much Nick Fury fighting him. But he came with a backup plan, okay? Like, he was slowing down, but also Loki assisted him. So this was very interesting to see the team up with Loki and Nick Fury. I never thought I was going to see this, but I was like, this is really cool. A team up between these two guys. And literally, we see that Loki said, hey, look, I'm not leaving Earth until I have my speech. And pretty much Loki's like, hey, I'm trying to take over planet Earth. Like, this is why I came to Asgard. Like, this is my new objective now. And he's like at some type of united alliance, ceremony, speaking his truth. And also, towards the end of this episode, we see pretty much Samuel L. Jackson's character, Nick Fury, pretty much get in contact with Captain Marvel. I thought this episode was interesting, how they did it days of the week and stuff, and just different settings. And the Hank Pym, wow, I was shocked. I was like, okay, I thought it may have been like another person. I thought it was Ant-Man for a minute. Honestly, I'm going to say I thought it was Ant-Man, but I was wrong. It was Hank Pym, the person that, gave him the suit and everything. But I say this episode surprised me. Very interesting. You know what I'm saying? We saw the hardships that Nick Fury faced, losing his Avengers, and like pretty much the demise of the Avengers, because like I said, it was interesting. And I think this is definitely one of the standout episodes, right along with the Star-Lord T'Challa episode. But you guys tell me in the comments, have you seen the newest What If episode? You tell me in the comments, guys. Your boy Ill Blurmatic. Have a great day, and I am out.